On OSRC News at 7, OSRC assesses compliance to executive order on CCTV installation in churches across Akure. NYC expresses displeasure over arrest of Osrc core member over alleged electoral malpractice. PDP reconciliatory moves suffer delay with overseas trip of presidential candidates as Southeast APC eyes top governing seats in 2023. Uzbekistan public protests result in casualties among civilians and security personnel. Good evening and welcome on the news. I am Olatomiwa Donald Falayi. Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu's executive order on the installation of closed-circuit television CCTV camera and the placement of tight security mechanism in churches has begun to take effect. While some churches visited by OSRC have installed the device, others are yet to begin plans to procure the equipment. Sahid Aribisala has more.
As part of measures to tighten security, Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu issued an executive order which, among other things, contained the directive on the installation of closed-circuit television CCTV camera in public and private places. Keeping up with that directive, human and vehicular entry into the premises of some Christian worship centers is no longer the same following the June 5 attack in Owo.
Ever since the case at Owo happened, we've been doing that.
Some churches have since recruited and trained security personnel equipped with under-vehicle set mirror, bomb detectors, among others. The increased consciousness also includes the patrol of police officers to and from various churches, while some are stationed at strategic places within the premises.
There are about 3 churches at this location, but the need to secure the environment has led various religious centers to come together and enter into a joint partnership.
The Bible says that safety is of the Lord. That is number one. But even at that, working part of what the Joint Security Committee, one of the things they do is also to determine the worshippers and determine, okay, this vehicle belongs to members of this church. So in case if there's any stranger, at least they'll be able to monitor to determine, okay, there's an infiltration. So it is in synergy that will be able to do that.
The installation of CCTV is now visible in the premises of some churches, even as administrators confirm that many others have been set up in hidden places which cannot be easily detected.
I believe that one of the things we can do is that, number one, to install CCTV cameras, which we have done. And we have done perfectly. In fact, all our environments, and not only that one, anytime we have service, we make sure that the security men, they are on place. We will make sure we secure at least a certain number of armed officers, and at the same time we have also taught our members to be security conscious.
While the process to install the CCTV have not been perfected by some, premium is now placed on setting up security committee.
We are already embarked on having so many processes, like having this CCTV in place. And we have already informed the police people to be patrolling this place to make sure that the members are safe.
Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu's executive order states that the deadline for the installation of CCTV cameras in public and private places will be the 1st of August, after which enforcement will begin. Sahid Aribisala, OSRC News.
Still talking church activities, the Christ Living Church in Akure, Ondo State capital, has marked its 38th anniversary as worshippers rolled out the drum in celebration. The founder of the church, Primate Sunday Oladosu Jolakwe, appreciated God for the gift of life and the journey through thick and thin. Bisola Luku was there, and a report is presented from our studios. We'll bring you that report in the course of the bulletin. Now to political matters. The reconciliation efforts in the the People's Democratic Party, PDP, may suffer a delay as the party's presidential candidate, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, whose emergence and choice of running mate has caused disagreement among some party chieftains, has traveled to the United States. It was also learned that on his return, Atiku planned to meet with Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike, who is said to be aggrieved by the outcome of the party's presidential primary and his failure to emerge as the running mate. Some party chieftains, including Governor Samuel Ortom of Benue State and former Ekiti State Governor Ayo Fayose, have in the last few days expressed displeasure over the state of affairs in the party. While Ortom criticized the way Wike was treated in the run-up to the emergence of a running mate, Fayose, who participated in the party's presidential primary, said it was Southern presidency or nothing. Meanwhile, the Southeast Zone of the All Progressives Congress has set its sight on the positions of Senate President and Secretary to the Government of the Federation if presidential candidate Asiwaju Bola Tinubu wins the 2023 general elections. The development was disclosed by a top party chieftain in the Southeast who craved anonymity. The source disclosed that a delegation was scheduled to meet with Tinubu with their demands when he returned to the country. And still on election matters, the National Youth Service Corps has described as unfortunate the reported arrest of a corps member, Oji Nneka, by the Osun State Police Command. He was said to have been arrested alongside a staff of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, over alleged electoral misconduct. According to the police, Oji, a corps member attached to INEC office as an ad hoc staff in charge of voter cards distribution, allegedly collected his permanent voter's card on the order of one Wale Ojo and Ijema Kinwa Olaoluwa, both members of a political party for financial transaction. The NYC, in a statement issued by its director, Press and Public Relations, Eddie Megwa, said the case was under investigation. Ahead of the 2023 general elections, the National Lahal Faith has advised religious leaders not to turn their pulpits into campaign grounds. NASFA's Chief Missioner, Imam Abdulaziz Onike, stated these while reacting to the extension of the continuous voter registration by the Independent National Electoral Commission. INEC had announced an indefinite extension of the CVR, which was extended to end on June 30, 2022. Its National Electoral Commissioner and Chairman Information and Voter Education Committee, Festus Okoye, in a statement in Abuja, said the exercise will continue nationwide as part of the Commission's resolve to continue to provide electoral services to Nigerians by registering all eligible citizens interested. President Muhammadu Buhari has returned to Abuja from Lisbon, the Portuguese capital, after concluding a 3-day state visit at the invitation of President Marcelo Rebelo de Sousa. In the course of his visit, which began on June 29, the president saw the signing of several memoranda of understanding between Nigeria and the European Union country for cooperation in areas which include political consultations, diplomatic training, research, and the exchange of information and documentation, among others. While there, he also called for a border partnership between Nigeria and Portugal beyond oil and gas to critical areas such as security and aviation. According to him, Nigeria, now Portugal's major natural gas supplier, could extend the same cover over Europe, especially in the backdrop of the Russia-Ukraine crisis, which has curbed supply to the region. You're watching Osrc News at 7. We'll bring you more stories after this break. You're welcome back. You can watch us live on our website www.osrc.ng or follow us on Facebook, Osrc TV Ondo, and on YouTube you can subscribe to our channel, Osrc TV Ondo. The former chairman, Nigeria Union of Local Government Employee, Nolge Ondo State Chapter, Dr. Olubumi Enyayewu, bows out of Ondo State Public Service at the age of 60. Friends, family and associates gathered at the International Event Center, the Dome, in Akure, the state's capital, to celebrate his time and achievements as a leader and colleague. Dignitaries, including the Deputy Governor of the state, Lucky Ayedatiwa, poured encomium on him, saying he has contributed immensely to the public service of the state. Omorela Humbiji has details.
It was a beautiful intro for Dr. Olubumi Enayewu, who danced with joy into the veil of his retirement party in company of his wife, children, and loved ones. Born in 1962 in Owo, Dr. Enayewu completed his educational career at Emmanuel Anglican Primary School at Brekiti in 1974 till he obtained his PhD in Public Administration at the Ambrose Ali University, Ekpoma, Edo State in 2007. The sexagenarian joined the local government services of Ondo State in 1989 and served in various capacities as Ondo State Chairman, Nigerian Union of Local Government Employee, NOGE, Vice President of the Union at the national level, and became a permanent secretary of the local government services in 2018, among other roles. After 33 years of meritorious service, the celebrant performed his hands down ceremony as conducted by the state head of service, Adeniyo Adeyemo. The state deputy governor, Lucky Ayedatiwa, who witnessed the event, described him as a great man and a retiring enigma whose impacts in the public service won't be forgotten in a hurry. Other dignitaries at the event described Enayewu as a man whose leadership quality is worthy of emulation.
Yes, there's no quarrel, no pandemonium in Noge again.
Enayewu is not only an administrator, but he's a father to all his staff. He's not only a father to his children, but he's committed, loyal to relationship, loyal to his employer.
His wife, children, and parents expressed their exceptional qualities.
Like, we work together in the same local government. You will never see me going to his office to visit him because I want him. Whoever that is with him, I want the person to be very free.
I think he deserves everything he gets today. You can see the crowd there, and I would be happy if I'm even half of the man he is.
He deserves everything that we are doing right now and more. If we can celebrate him every day of his life, we will.
The celebrant, who could not hide his excitement, said he is geared to do more for humanity.
Many challenges. See, the public service is a very slippery system, and I have seen the good, the bad, and the ugly of the system. But the grace of God saw me through.
Earlier, a Thanksgiving service in commemoration of the day at the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Victory Mega Parish, Akure, was held. Omorela Humbiji, Osrc News.
Believers have been admonished to live in accordance with scriptural doctrines. The admonition was given at the funeral ceremony of the late Sir Michael Adeloye, who left this earthly space at the age of 69. Joy Pius reports that the event, which took place at the Blessed Michael Tansi Catholic Church, Akure, brought together guests from far and near.
The Knights of St. Mulumba of the Blessed Michael Tansi Catholic Church, Akure, adorned with their outfits to pay their last respect to their late member, Sir Michael Adeloye, alongside family members and friends. The officiating minister, Reverend Father Paul Akimuda, while eulogizing the deceased as a patient man who led a good life, charged believers to leave a legacy that will outlive them.
This is not about but this man lived a good life. I know his name now. Let us compromise his name.
Thereafter, his remains were lowered to Mother Earth. Children of the deceased, alongside the son-in-law and staff of the Osrc Media Group, Igbekele Ologun, described the deceased as a patient man while he was alive.
My late father is a man of truth, and he has inculcated that into me. He is not a compromiser, and he put his best in everything he does. My father was loving. My father was my mirror, my confidant, my inestimable value.
My father-in-law is somebody who is committed to any cause he believes in, and is caring, is loving. He not chose me like a son-in-law. He took me as his own son.
One thing about him, which I do pray to God to give me, very patient in all things. He doesn't do things in haste.
He's a knight of Sam Lumba, a friend, a brother, a parishioner of Blessed Maketasi. He was a good man, a good Catholic, and a good knight till death.
Guests who came to felicitate with the family were entertained. The late Sir Michael Adeluyi last worked in the service of Ondo State in 2014, retiring as Chief Produce Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture after a meritorious service. Sir Michael Adeluyi was a committed Christian and member of a Knight of St. Mulumba, where he rose to a second degree. Among many other organizations, he was actively involved in the church. He transited this world on June 5, 2022, at the age of 69. Joy Pius, Osrc News.
And to the foreign scene. Uzbekistan's president has said there have been casualties among civilians and law enforcement personnel after rare public protests in the country's autonomous northwestern Karasalan province, which has seen significant unrest over a planned constitutional reform. In a statement by President Shavkat Mirziyoyev, rioters had carried out destructive actions in the city of Nukuz, throwing stones, starting fires, and attacking police. An exiled opposition politician, Polat Ayov, told newsmen that based on contacts with local sources and video evidence, at least 5 people have been killed. He said there were unconfirmed reports of dozens more dead. And now to sport. The management of Ondo State Football Agency has expressed its readiness to secure corporate sponsorships for both Sunshine Stars and Sunshine Queens football clubs as a way to further reposition the clubs. The chairman of interim committee of the agency and deputy governor of Ondo State, Lucky Ayedatiwa, said this during the unveiling of next season's jerseys for the 2 clubs. Our reporter Abiodun Adewale completes the story.
With an existence of over 2 decades each, Sunshine Stars and Sunshine Queens football clubs of Ondo State have recorded enviable achievements in Nigerian club football. In recent years, the clubs have received further boost from the state government, and it keeps getting better with the unveiling of new jersey for the clubs ahead of the 2022-2023 season, an event that attracted eminent personalities from within and outside the state. After setting the tone for the event with a special documentary on both teams, the moment everyone waited for finally arrived. 12 of the dignitaries at the gathering were presented customized home and away replicas, while some of the players modeled the kits to the delight of guests. The general manager of both clubs, Akin Akimbobola, commended the state government for providing the enabling environment for the teams to operate, stressing that the ambitions of Sunshine Stars and Sunshine Queens will remain high.
And this is just the beginning, and that's why you can see the caliber of invitees to capture cross segments of indigenous and people of Ondo State in such a way that everybody will have a sense that this is our property.
Guests and partners at the event also acknowledged the marketable nature of the two teams as a way of increasing government revenue.
For a state, you can build bridges and do roads and all that, but the youths are more, you populate their legitimacy by sport.
We're going to be partnering with Ondo State government we're going to be harvesting a lot of talent here to sell to European clubs and to generate money for Ondo State people.
These are the kind of avenues the government is doing. Of course, we know this is Arapon's government. He knows what to do. He knows how to tap into private brains, private resources to bring money into Ondo State.
Chairman of the interim committee of the agency and Deputy Governor of Ondo State, Lucky Ayedatiwa, who also represented Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu at the event, said the state government will leverage on available avenues to make the teams attractive brands.
Sunshine Stars and Sunshine football clubs are now being kitted by Future Horizon Company, and we are poised to collaborate with other private interests to get official corporate brand sponsors.
With the current season already winding down, the management and guests departed the event with a flair of fruitful partnership ahead of the next campaign. Abiodun Adewale, OSRC News.
Meanwhile, the Ondo State Football Association has unveiled Bet Niger, the official sponsor of the State Football League. At the official launch in Akure, Ondo State, Deputy Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa said the remarkable development will further complement the efforts of the Oluwarotimi Akeredolu's government in taking sport to the next level. The report.
Describing the sponsorship deal as historic, Chairman Ondo State Football Association, Dele Ajayi, said the brand has indigenous and nationalist fervor. Otumba Dele Ajayi called on the state legislature and executive arms of government to include Ondo State Football Association in its future annual budget.
We are having a befitting sponsor for our state league. There are lots of prizes to be won. Also participants, stakeholders, clubs want to appreciate our sponsor. They have done well and we will never disappoint them.
Also speaking at the event, Chairman of Bet Niger Ondo State Football League, Yomi Seriki, expressed the air of expectancy that the brand will sell the state soccer to the world.
Teams will be divided to groups and then the league will commence in earnest. At the end of the first stage, the winner and the runner from each group will converge in Akure for the grand finale. It is from the engagement between the teams that come to Akure that the state champion will finally emerge. The league will be run and managed according to the statute of FIFA.
Earlier, the state deputy governor, Lucky Ayedatiwa, unveiled the logo of Bet Niger Ondo State Football League. Represented by the Director General of Sunshine Stars Football Club, Akin Akinbobola, the Deputy Governor restated the commitment of Ondo State Government for football development, calling for concerted effort to discover more talents at the grassroots.
These talents, these skills are already deposited in these young boys and girls, and it only needs for an institution to galvanize it and hit it from the back so that it can propel forward. Mr. Chairman, you're just establishing a league, but this is a grassroots league. This is the beginning.
Chairman Ondo State House Committee on Sports, Olugbenga Omole, tasked the state FA to sustain the tempo of its success story.
We saw how it goes in development. We know it's private driven. But here, let us take it to that level. And we can only take it to that level if the government gives the support. And I can assure you, no matter how small, there will be budgetary provision for it in 2023 budget.
This is the first time in the 46-year history of Ondo State FA that a corporate organization at the national level has struck a deal to sponsor the State Football League. Omorimi Ogumola, OSRC News.
To end the news tonight, let's take another look at some eyeless stories. Osrc has assessed compliance with executive order on CCTV installation in churches across Akure. NYC has expressed displeasure over arrest of Osun Corps member over alleged electoral malpractice. PDP conciliatory moves has suffered delay with overseas trip of presidential candidate as Southeast APCI's top governance seats in 2023. And from the foreign scene, Uzbekistan public protest has resulted in casualties among civilians and security personnel. And that ends the news tonight. Thanks for watching. Good evening.